Hey everyone, so in today's video, I'm going to be doing an unboxing and setup of the Merry and Bright snow globe. This snow globe has been on sale around Christmas time at PetSmart for a couple of years now. I saw it last year and I convinced myself not to buy it, but this year I was unsuccessful and I decided to pick it up for my tank. This ornament comes with pretty much everything that you're going to need. Of course, it is an aeration decor, so it does oxygenate your water as well, as it says there. And it does have the little floating snow pearls that float around in there and make it look like a real snow globe, and it does light up as well. The only thing that this doesn't come with is an air pump, but it does come with everything else. Another thing that I personally choose to use is a check valve, and it doesn't come with that either, but it is not a necessity. This is the air pump that I'm going to be using here. It is one that I got on Amazon a while ago. One of my favorite air pumps, and it has 2 ports so I can use it for my sponge filter as well. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to need scissors, so I'm bringing those as well. So the first thing we're going to do is open up the box. So when you open it up, you can see the plastic right there. It has the snow globe nicely placed in front of the window there. And then, of course, there is the boxes of stuff behind that. So you can go ahead and slide it out and everything in the box comes out in one piece. Now that it's out of the box, you can see the snow globe a little bit better. As you can see, it is a plastic dome, has the little holes at the top for the air to come through, and the snow and the tree there is a little bit textured with the paint, so that's kind of nice. So I'm just going ahead and pulling it right out of the plastic right here. It's not twist tied or anything, so it'll come out really easy. There's just a little piece of glue that you have to pick off of it. Everything is in this one bag, with the exception of the snow pearls, which of course are in their own little bag. So first up out of the big bag are the snow pearls. You also have the air adjuster valve, a very generous amount of clear tubing, and then the cord and tubing clips. In this white box is the adapter. The snow globe itself has a cord of the light on it, but of course it has a little connector that you connect to the adapter as well. This one does come with an on-off switch, so you don't need to unplug it every time you want to turn the light off. And last but not least, of course, you have your instruction manual. Now here is a closer look at the snow globe. So as I mentioned earlier, the tree and the snowman are actually the light, so you can't see anything in there. It does have the holes in the top there for the air to come out. And it also appears that there's little holes at the bottom on the base. I'm not sure what those are for because they're not on the other side and it's not where the air come out of. It also has some suction cups to hold it to the bottom of your tank. So now let's start setting it up. Now in order to screw off the lid, it's actually very easy. It's not like a full screw or anything like that. It just is a slow turn and then you can lift it up. So there's just like a little locking mechanism there. So as you can see, every time I turn it, it kind of hits the end and then that's when you lift it. And then when you turn it the other way and it hits the end, that's when it's locked on. So it's actually very quick and easy to attach and detach. The first thing that you're going to want to do, of course, is open the little bag of snow pearls. You're going to want to open the bag and pour the pearls into the clear dome of the snow globe. When you pour it in, you want to make sure that the dome is upside down, so you're almost pouring it into a little bowl. Then, with the globe still upside down, you're going to want to attach the base and twist it until it locks. To ensure it's locked, just give it a little pull, and it won't move if it's locked correctly. You will be able to rotate it in any direction, and the pearls will not come out. With that done, now it's time to connect the tubing. The tubing is a little bit tight, so you will have to wiggle it on a little bit. I find the easiest way is to press it on one side and slowly try to pull it down rather than coming at it straight on. Once you have it on there, push it in enough so you won't have to worry about it disconnecting underwater. Now, as for the air control valve that comes with the snow globe, it has 2 little outputs here and then the little dial on top. This controls how much air comes from your pump and into the ornament. Connect one of the ends to the tube that is leading into the ornament and connect the other end into the tube that is going into the pump. When you rotate this dial on top, it will control the pressure. So the first thing I do before I add the snow globe into a tank is I need to disconnect my little sponge filter. This tank does have a built-in filter, but unfortunately the pump is broken and I haven't replaced it yet. It is connected to a single air pump, but I am switching to the bigger one that I showed you earlier that had the 2 outputs, so I can have it both going out of the one pump. So that is why I'm disconnecting it. Since you were likely not doing that step, this will be your next step after connecting the tube to the snow globe, and you're going to plug it into your air pump like so. Here is my air pump now with both of the tubes connected. Before I added the snow globe into my tank, I made sure to give it a quick clean, so I was starting in a fresh, clean tank. If you want to see a full video of me cleaning this tank, I do have it on my channel already, and I will put it in the iCards. As with most aquarium things that come with lights, the cord is held together by a little twist tie, so you're just going to want to go ahead and untwist that to free up the cord. Now it's time to add the snow globe to the water. It is important to note that I am using a check valve, which means I don't have my pump plugged in yet. Basically, a check valve stops the water from going from the ornament back into the pump. However, if you don't have this, make sure you plug in your pump before you do this step. Now, this is where I came across my first hiccup in the process. This is something that will not pertain to majority of you, but did pertain to me. Now, I have a planted tank, and I have my substrate quite thick. So I was unable to use the little suction cups that are on the bottom of the ornament. So it would not stick. If your substrate is thin and you can bury this enough that the suction cups stick to the bottom of your tank, this ornament will be perfect and you'll not have this issue. I tried using a little aquascaping tool to move some of the substrate out of the way. However, I just have too much of it in here. But also look at this mess that I was dealing with. Stirred up substrate everywhere. My fish was curious, but I was so frustrated. I had to go and get a large fishing weight, and I tied it to an elastic band to the air tubing. And it stopped it from lifting up at the end where the tube was connected, because that's where it was lifting. So once we got that all connected, we were ready to attempt take two. And thankfully, take two was successful. I was able to get it to stay on the bottom. Now it is time to plug in your air pump if you haven't already. And this is where it is at full power. It is pumping out the most amount of air that it is capable of doing. And that is how much the pearls move around there. So if you did have this connector here, this is what it's going to look like for you. Now, while it does look really cute with the pearls moving around and the bubbles in there, we're going to now plug in the light to make it look as good as it can. You're going to want to take both ends of the cords and connect them together, and then they will have power. Once that's done, you can go ahead and plug the light into the wall. The light on the snow globe doesn't show up as well when the lights in your tank are fairly bright, so luckily I can dim the lights in my tank, so I'm going to go ahead and dim them a little bit so you can really see what the light looks like when the tank lights are off. As you can see, it gives off a fairly decent amount of light. It does light up the globe fairly well. It does not work as a tank light. It wouldn't be sufficient for that because it doesn't really give off any light around it, as you can see. However, the globe itself does light up very nicely. But that is it all set up. I absolutely love the way it looks, especially because my tank is right next to my Christmas tree. Overall, it just adds a little bit more festivity into this corner by my tank. My next video is actually going to be a full review of this, so I'm not going to go into it too much now, but definitely subscribe so you know when I'm going to be uploading that video. And if you want to know when I upload next, make sure you hit that notification bell. But that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!